students, we go to tangent properties of circles. Now in this part, in tangent properties of circles, you have the circle. The first property is a tangent at any point on a circle is perpendicular to the radius at the point of contact. So here you are assuming AB is the tangent at point P. That means AB touches the circle at one and only one point P. If any line is a tangent to a circle, it will touch the circle at that one and only one point. So AB is tangent at point P and OP is the radius. OP is the radius of the circle. You have to prove angle APQ is 90 degree. So in this proof, we are taking a contrary assumption. We are assuming that this angle OQP is 90. We are joining another segment OQ such that Q lies on AB, and we are assuming OQP is 90 degree. Now in one triangle you can only have one angle which is 90 degree, the other angles will be less than 90 degree. So if we assume this angle is 90, that means this angle OPQ will be less than 90. So therefore you will have OQP is greater than OPQ. So the side opposite the bigger angle is bigger. So since this is 90, therefore OP will be greater than OQ. So we are getting it that way, that OP is greater than OQ. That means OP and OT are same. Since OP and OT are same, so therefore we will say OT is greater than OQ. But from figure that is not possible. OT cannot be greater than OQ because in the figure O dash T dash Q means O, T, Q are collinear points and T lies between O and Q. So OT cannot be bigger than OQ. So therefore our basic assumption that angle OPQ is not 90 degree is a false assumption. So this is the only proof where you have the proof for your exam. This is there for your exam. It has never been asked, but it is based on contrary assumption. Some proofs cannot be proved other than by contrary assumption. We are assuming that this is not 90. So we are taking another angle in the same triangle, that is angle OQP, where Q lies on AB, and angle OQP is 90. So we have taken that as an assumption from the construction. Therefore we have in a triangle only one angle can be 90, the others will be less than 90. So OPQ is less than OQP. One angle is 90, then the other angles will be less than 90. So this OPQ will be less than OQP. So which is the side opposite to the bigger one? OPQ. The side opposite to that is OQ. That is less than OP. So if OQ is less than OP, OP is same as OT. They are radii of the same circle. So we are saying OQ is less than OT. Now this is coming out to be false. This is not possible because O dash T dash Q, that means T lies between O and Q. So our assumption that OP is not perpendicular to AB is wrong. So OP is perpendicular to AB. That is, the tangent is perpendicular to the radius at the point of contact. This is how this first theorem has to be used. Mostly you get only sums based on this, where you have to write the reason that tangent perpendicular to radius. That much itself you have to write, that is what is asked. This proof has never been asked, but in the syllabus book it is mentioned, it is there. So you could be asked, you can be given the statement, a tangent at any point of a circle is perpendicular to the radius through that point. If that comes, you have to draw this diagram, write given to prove that construction and write the proof. Copy this down in your notebook. This proof is important because it can be asked sometimes once in 3-4 years. They ask the theorem and ask you to prove it. So this is very important. This can be done simply by RHS test by congruency. The length of two tangents from an external point to a circle are equal. So the external point is A. From A, AB is a tangent to the circle with center P. Similarly, AC is also a tangent to the circle with center P. So they are asking you to prove that AB is equal to AC. So that is what is asked to be proved. Now this is very simple. You have angle PBA is equal to 90 degree, and that is same as ACP, because tangents are perpendicular to the radius. You have already given AB and AC are tangents. So those two angles are 90 degree. Hypotenuse of both the triangles is AP. So you have AP equal to AP common side, and then PB and PC are equal, they are radii. So the two triangles are congruent by RHS test. So because the two triangles are congruent, therefore AB will be equal to AC, CPCTC. And AB and AC are the two tangents which are drawn. So the two tangents are perpendicular to the radii at the point of contact. Now you have the next theorem. In the next theorem, all these theorems are there for the boards. None of them have been excluded from the portion, or none of them you are told that the proofs are not there. Anything can be asked, though generally they ask sums based on these theorems. Next theorem is, if two circles touch each other. Touch word in this chapter or in constructions means tangent. If two circles touch each other, means two circles are tangent to each other. The point of contact lies on the straight line joining the centers. So you have center of circle is A and the other circle is B, and P is the point of contact. Now you have to prove that P lies on AB. It is one straight line, or in other words, APB is one straight line. So we have a small construction. First case, we are taking that the two circles are touching each other externally. So if you are given the proof, in the proof they will ask if two circles touch each other externally or internally, that they will specify. If they don't specify anything, then you do it for external, if it is 3 marks. So when they touch each other externally, therefore first thing you are drawing a tangent, or you are drawing a tangent to the two circles through that point of contact P. See, these two circles are touching at point P, means no second point is there where they touch. The two circles are tangent to each other at point P. So you are actually drawing a tangent, that's the construction. QP will be tangent to both the circles. Now A and B are the centers, so obviously AP and BP are the radii. So you can write angle APQ is 90. Similarly, you can write BPQ is 90. Reason, tangent is perpendicular to the radius. Now APQ plus BPQ is 90 plus 90, that is 180 degree. So the entire angle APQ and BPQ together is 180. So that means APB is 180. So therefore APB is a straight line, that is P lies on AB. APB is a straight line, so point P lies on AB. That's the proof. This is when they touch each other externally. Now case 2 I will write down next, that is when they touch each other internally, means one circle is inside the other circle and there is a common point of contact. So write down both these proofs. So now we are continuing with the second case, that is when the two circles touch each other internally. So you can see that A is the center of the bigger circle and B is the center of the smaller circle, and they are touching each other at one and only one point. That means they are touching internally at point P. So we have to prove that P lies on AB produced. In this case, the line joining the center and the point of contact. In this case, it's the line joining the centers produced. So now here you have angle APQ is 90 degree, tangent perpendicular. You are taking a construction. You are joining QP tangent to both the circles at the point P. So APQ is 90 and BPQ is also 90. Both are 90 degree. That means AP is perpendicular to PQ and BP is also perpendicular to PQ. So now you have at one point on a line, there can be only one perpendicular drawn from a given segment. So if there are different points, you can draw different perpendiculars. But from at one point, you can have only one perpendicular drawn. For example, if this is your line, from this point, on this point, how many perpendiculars you can draw? You can't draw like this, like that, and say that they are perpendicular. So at this one point P, you can only draw one line perpendicular. Maybe there are so many points lying on that given line. So this is the point P, and A and B therefore has to be lying on the same line, because at one single point on a line only one perpendicular can be drawn. On different points on the line different perpendiculars can be drawn, but at a point only one perpendicular can be drawn. So using that analogy, we say that AP and BP lie on the same line, because only one perpendicular can be drawn to a line through a point on it. Therefore, APB is one straight line, that is P lies on line AB when produced. So P lies on AB when produced. Next is, you have tangent and secant theorem. Tangent and secant, in this case AB and CD are two chords and they are intersecting at the point P. So in this case you have to prove that PA into PB is PC into PD. Sometimes once the proof has been asked in the last 3-4 years, once this proof has been asked in the boards. And there are sums based on this which are sometimes you are given PA, PC, PD and you are asked to find PB and the length of the chord AB that way. So this is a very simple proof. You can say that CAB and CDB are equal because they are angles in the same segment. CAB and CDB are equal. So you can say CAP and PDB are equal. That's because that's the same angles. Now if you take this triangle APC and PDB, you have got one pair of vertically opposite angles APC and VPD. They are equal, they are vertically opposite angles. And second, just now you said that CAP and BDP, they are equal because they are angles in the same segment. They have the same segment BC in front of them, both those angles, that angle at A and the angle at D, they have the same segment BC in front of them. So, because of that, those two angles are equal, so therefore you have similarity. In similarity there is AA test, this is not congruency. This is just one line like this. This is sign for similarity. So in similarity you have AA test if two triangles have two equal angles. In this case A and D are equal and these are vertically opposite angles. Then you can say the two triangles are similar by AA test. But when you write the similarity, you have to be careful to write the correspondence properly. I have written A first. A is this angle. In triangle APC, I have written A first. So therefore, when I write the similar triangle on the other side, in triangle PDB, I have to write D first. Why? Because angle A and D were the equal angles. So A is written first, so D has to be written first. Similarly, angle P, APC and BPD were equal, so these are both equal angles. So therefore I wrote P and P are equal, they are vertically opposite angles. So because I wrote P here second, therefore P has to be written on the other side, in the other triangle also second. So if you don't write this properly, then your proportionality won't be correct. If two triangles are similar by any test, AA is one of the tests of similarity. You have similarity chapter for learning this year, so you will learn all the proofs in that. But first here, whatever test you prove them similar, you have to write the proportionality properly. So A written with B, A first, B first, P second I wrote with P. So the third alphabet obviously in that triangle is C and the third alphabet in the other triangle will be B. So the corresponding sides are proportional That means 1, 2. The first two alphabets PA. Here also first two alphabets PA upon PD. Then PC 2 and 3. There also 2 and 3 PB. It's that way that it has to be written. If this is not written properly, then this proportionality will go wrong. So you have to write the one-to-one correspondence properly. AP first and second alphabet with first and second alphabet, second and third alphabet, and second and third alphabet. So that when you cross multiply, you get the result. That is PA into PB is PC into PD. Now this result can be directly used when you are solving sums. If you are given AP, BP, PC and asked to find PD, you are not going to prove anything. You will directly be using that result and saying that chords of a circle intersect proportionally. You will just write the reason in a circle chords intersect proportionally. That's what you would write the reason and directly use that statement, that equation. So we continue with this. Next we will see when the two chords are not intersecting inside the circle, but when produced they meet outside the circle. In that case also you can prove that the chords intersect proportionally. Now continuation of the previous one, that is case 2. In the previous case the chords had intersected internally inside the circle. Now the two chords BA, AB and CD, they do not intersect inside the circle, but when produced they meet at a point P outside the circle. So you have to prove that these chords intersect proportionally. So that means you need to prove that PA to PB is PC into PD. Means from the point of intersection to the two endpoints of the chord, the multiplication would be from the point of intersection to the two endpoints of the second chord. That's how you need to prove it. So now you have two triangles, the big triangle that is PAC and the smaller triangle PBD. Now P is a common angle. You can see that P is common angle here. So this is one thing that you have taken. And then you can say that this angle out here, that is PAC or BAC, is equal to angle BDP. Exterior angle of cyclic quadrilateral equal to interior opposite angle. So the cyclic quadrilateral property you had learned last year, so you have to use that property. In triangle PAC and PDB, you have PAC is equal to PDB. Exterior angle of cyclic quadrilateral is equal to its interior opposite angle. Then you have APC is equal to BPD, common angle. So we had just seen that there is a test of similarity called AA test. This and this angle and this is the common angle. So triangle PAC is similar to triangle PDB. Now as I told you, P was congruent to P. So I wrote P first. A and D were equal, so A second, D second. That proportionality should be written correctly. If the proportionality is not written correctly, then the next step, that is corresponding sides are proportional, you won't be able to write properly. So P, because P was equal to P, both places I wrote P first, the first alphabet. Second alphabet, in the first case I wrote A, and for the second triangle I wrote D. That is because A and D were the congruent angles. So now 1, 2, first two alphabets PA, they are also first two alphabets upon PD. Then 1 and 3 here PC, and 1 and 3 there PB. So that's the corresponding sides which are proportional. So now when you cross multiply, you have PA into PB is PC into PD. This is exactly what you were asked to prove, that PA into PB is equal to PC into PD. Hence chords of a circle intersect proportionally. Previously it was when they were intersecting inside the circle, and this is when the chords, when produced, they meet at a point externally outside the circle. Now there is an important theorem which is called alternate segment theorem. You know this chord AB divides the circle. Now look at only the chord. So if you have the circle, I am just showing it here, and you have this chord A and B. The chord is dividing the circle into two parts. The smaller segment called the minor segment, and the bigger part, that is the major segment. You are asked to prove that the angle between the tangent and the chord, that means this angle, if T is the tangent, then angle TAB is equal to any angle in the other segment. Other segment means anywhere on the circumference of that circle, not in this minor segment but in the other segment. So if I join that both, that means I am calling this point as C. So you have to prove BAT, angle BAT, angle between chord and tangent, is equal to any angle in the other segment, that is angle ACB. The endpoints are the same endpoints of the chord, and C lies on the circumference. So you have to prove this in that case. So here, what you are doing is, you have joined BC and BA, and O is the center of the circle. So first of all, you are taking this angle to be x. If you take that angle on the circumference to be x, that is angle ACB, this angle you are taking as x. If you are taking angle ACB as x, then obviously the first thing you learn in this chapter is that angle at the center is 2 times angle on the circumference. So angle AOB, the second step, angle AOB will be 2x. So this angle out here at the center will be 2x. So because you took angle on the circumference as x, angle at the center is 2x. Now you have OA and OB are same because they are radii of the same circle. So you have written OA is equal to OB radii. So their base angles will be equal because they are angles opposite equal sides. So those two angles are y. So now if you take the triangle OAB, you have y plus 2x is 180, or you can say that 2y is 180 minus x. So when you divide throughout by 2, you will get y is equal to 90 minus x. Y is 90 minus x. So OAB is y, that is 90 minus x. Now you know that the full angle OAT, this angle, is 90 degree. Why? Because AT is tangent and tangent perpendicular to radius. OAT is 90 degree. So how much is angle TAB? So angle BAT is OAT 90 minus OAB, that is y. So BAT is OAT minus OAB, that is 90 minus angle y, which is 90 minus x. So 90 minus 90 goes, and minus of minus x will be plus x. So by using that, we have been able to prove that angle BAT, this angle is same as this angle, that is both are x. This was taken as x. Now you have been able to prove that this angle is x. That's the proof. That is angle between tangent and the chord. Angle between tangent and chord at the point of contact is equal to angle in the alternate segment. This has to be used in sums. Many times this is not asked as a proof. Can be asked. It is not given, it won't be asked because theorems are there as per syllabus book. But this can be, mostly it is asked to be used in sums. So please copy this, both the theorems. We have got one more theorem remaining and then we will continue with the sums. So in the previous proof was alternate segment theorem. Now before that you had proved that when two chords intersect, they intersect proportionally. Now here you have a tangent, PT is tangent, and BA is chord. When BA is produced, it intersects the tangent at point P. So now you have to prove that the chord and the tangent, when they intersect at a point, they intersect proportionally. So in other words, you have to prove that PT squared is PA into PB. So whenever this word proportionally is seen in any of the proofs, immediately understand that proportionality means similarity. You will have to prove the two triangles similar. Now how do you decide which two triangles? PT should be a part of both the triangles. Only then you will get PT squared. PA has to be a part of the triangle and PB has to be also a part of the triangle. This is because this was what was asked to be proved. When a chord and a tangent intersect at a point, they intersect proportionally. So now here you have PAT is one triangle in which PT is there and PA is there. Then PBT is the second triangle in which PB is there and PT is there. So those are the two triangles that you have to consider. Now firstly, P is common angle in both triangle PAT and PBT. So that is one thing. Second thing you can take is AT is chord and PT is tangent. So just now you had learned alternate segment theorem and said that angle between tangent and a chord, this angle, is equal to an angle in the other segment or alternate segment, this angle. So these two angles are equal. That can be used directly, and you can write the reason PTA is equal to PBT, angle between tangent PT, angle between the chord AT and tangent PT equals angle in alternate segment. And the second of course is APT is BPT, common angle. So you can say that triangle PAT is similar to triangle PTB by a test. Now again, when you write the similarity, T with B, T is written third here in triangle PAT and B also has to be written third because they are the two corresponding congruent angles. Similarly, P is written first, so P has to be written first here. This similarity, what you write, has to be in proper sequence. P congruent to P proved here, and T congruent to B, so T is written third, so B has to be written third. So therefore, PA, first two alphabets upon PT, first two alphabets, is PT, first and third, upon PB, first and third. You could also write AT upon TB, but that is not required in the proof. You don't have AT and TB. The third corresponding side is 2, 3 upon 2, 3. But that is not there, so I have not written. You have written PA, which is there in the proof, upon, but you can write whatever you want, PA upon PT, because 1, 2 upon 1, 2. Is PT, because you need PT twice, PT upon PB. So now when you cross multiply, you get the result, that is PT squared is PA into PB. So you can directly use this. The theorem is only very rarely asked, but you can directly use, if you see a tangent and a chord intersecting at a point, you can write PT squared is PA into PB. The tangent length, the whole squared, from the point of intersection to the end point of the chord, from the point of intersection to the other end point of the chord, PA into PB. So now on page 89, we will do one proof for today. So generally in your board exam, proofs are not asked. Very rarely in a paper you will find proof. You will find mostly either sides or angles, sums like that are asked in the last 3-4 years. So you need to prove AF plus BD plus CE is AE plus BF plus CD. It's a simple proof. On one side you will write AF, on the other side you will write AE. Because you need to add AF, then on one side you will write BD, and you will say that is equal to BF. Why? Because tangents drawn, you are given that the circle is inscribed in that triangle. So that means the BD is tangent to the circle, or BC is tangent to the circle at point D. AB is tangent to circle at point F and AC is tangent to circle at point E. So that is because the circle is inscribed in the triangle, it touches the three sides of the triangle at one and only one point. So I have written AF equals AE, then in the order BD is equal to BF and CE is equal to CD. So now all the left hand sides I add and the right hand sides I will add. So adding corresponding sides of 1, 2, 3 I will get AF plus BD plus CE is equal to AE plus BF plus CD. So that is step number 4. So therefore if you add everything, it will be the entire perimeter of triangle ABC. So that is why I added this and this, and I wrote that it is AB plus BC plus AC, that is perimeter of triangle ABC. In the next step, instead of writing AE, BF and CD, I know AE, BF and CD is equal to this same part. So instead of writing this, I wrote this same thing again. So I got 2 times AF plus BD plus CE is perimeter of triangle ABC. So I take 2 down there, so half perimeter of triangle ABC is AF plus BD plus CE. So therefore, from this step where you have written both of them are equal, and from this step where you are writing that this is equal to half perimeter of triangle ABC, I can say that this and this are both equal and they are equal to half perimeter of the full triangle ABC. So that's the proof for the first sum. We will continue with the next sum in the next class. So bye students, copy this in your notebook.